This is Dr. Saad in front of you, and today my topic is the 8th hallmark of the cancer, that is the evasion of host immune response. So as its name indicates, evasion means the tumor cells, they escape from our normal host immune response, means our normal immune response, the tumor cells, they escape from our immune response. Now we have to find out that how the tumor cells, they escape from this. So first of all, that this is basically concerned with the immunology. We will be discussing means each and everything in the immunology in detail, but just in corresponding to the tumor. So we are discussing here according to the tumor cells, the immune system according to the tumor cells, that what the tumor cells they do in order to escape from the immune response of our body. Now first thing that the means scientists, they see that the immunocompromised individuals, means those individuals having the weak immune system, they were more prone to develop the cancer, means they have the weak immunity, weak immune response, so that's why they are more prone to develop the cancer. But the problem arises when the patient's immunocompetent patient, or you can say immunocompetent normal individual, when he also starts to develop the cancer. Means if the immune system is normal, then why the cancer is developing? It means that we have to study that what are certain factors that develop the cancer in the immunocompetent individuals. Clear? So you have to remember 5 points regarding this, 5 to 6 points, that what the tumor cells do in order to develop the cancer in the immunocompetent individuals. So we are moving on with our first point, that is the selective outgrowth of antigen negative variants. Now this I will be explaining you very easy. In this there is a term that is called as the immunoediting. Basically, in order to explain this term, I will explain you by an example, that is, there are two brothers. For example, there are two brothers, and they are obviously they have the single parent, they arise from the same origin, they have the single parent, they are the two brothers. Now each of them having a different nature, having different opinions, they have different, means they can adapt to different environments. For example, one brother can adapt to the environment very easily, the other brother cannot adapt to the environment easily. Other one is harsh, one is cool. So they are means although they are arising from a single parent, but still they have the different properties. Clear? So in the same way there is also this also occur with the tumor cell. For example, this is your normal cell, and from this cell your tumor cells, they arise. Clear? Now from here the tumor cells, they arise. Now suppose that these are the tumor cells, different tumor cells in your body arising from a single cell origin. Now in the same way, just remember example of the two brothers, that they have different capabilities. So in the same way, the certain tumor cells, they are immunogenic, while some are immunoresistant. Means some tumor cells, they are easily destroyed by the immune system of our body. Clear? Some tumor cells, they are immunogenic, means they are easily destroyed by our body's immune system. But certain tumor cells, they are not destroyed by the immune system of our body, and they are resistant. They are resistant to the immune system, that are called as the immune resistant tumor cells. Means every tumor, it contains many type of the cells, means many cells, and some of those cells, they are immune resistant. Clear? So this is basically what is immune editing? Immune editing basically means the elimination of the immunogenic tumor cells, means these are the immunogenic tumor cells. Elimination of these tumor cells, they are called as the immune editing. And some of the books, they also says about the Darwinian selections, means as the tumor progresses, the cells that are less adaptive, they starts to eliminate. Here you can see that these cells, they are eliminating. This is also called as the immunoediting. So you have understand what is immunoediting. This is all about immunoediting, and in this way the cells that are immunoresistant, they remains as the tumor progresses. So first point, this is a very general point. Now we are moving on towards our second point. Now what is the second point? It is the decreased expression of the MHC protein. You can say the loss of expression of the MHC complex. Now loss of expression of MHC complex, what is this? I am explaining you this in detail, that normally what happens, that if there is an antigen in our body, so this antigen will be expressing a protein, that is the HLA protein, HLA protein 1 and 2. Clear? And this HLA protein is formed by a gene that is called as the MHC gene, and this form the protein that is called as the HLA protein. Now what is the function of HLA protein? This HLA protein is basically recognized by your CD4 positive T cells, or you can say simply the T cells, they recognize these HLA proteins, and after the recognition they starts to destroy your antigen. This is your normal mechanism in your body, that the antigen that is expressing the HLA protein, that is recognized by the T cells, and now the T cells act upon them and they destroy the antigen. Now this is normal mechanism. Now what the tumor cells they do, basically they decrease or they lost the expression of the MHC complex, or you can say HLA protein, means MHC genes they are not expressed, so the HLA proteins will not be expressed. When the HLA proteins they are not expressed, so the CD4 positive T cells will not recognize or not act upon these antigens in these cells. And now what are these cells? These are basically the tumor cells that do not express the they do not express the HLA proteins. So when they are not expressed, so they are not destroyed by the CD4 positive T cells. In this way the tumor cells they escape the immune response of our body. Clear? Basically this CD4 positive T cells, they basically what are they? They are basically our immune response. So in this way the tumor cells they escape from the immune response. Clear? So this is your second point, that was also very important. Now we are moving on towards our third point, that is the activation of immunoregulatory pathways. Activation of immune regulatory pathways. Now basically what the tumor cells they do, simply I am telling you first of all in normal, what normally happens, that if we have the immune system, so there are certain activators of the immune system and there are certain inhibitors of the immune system. Clear? Now there is a balance between these activators and inhibitors. Clear? There is a balance between the activators as well as the inhibitors normally. Now what the tumor cells they do, they activate the immune regulatory pathways. It means that they activate the or increase the inhibitor of the immune system. Means for example, there are certain cells or certain receptors that inhibit the CD4 positive T cells, negative regulator of these. Now what the tumor cells will do, they will increase the expression of these negative regulators. In this way what happens, that the CD4 positive T cells they are inhibited by the inhibitors, or you can say the tumor cells that increase the expression of the inhibitors and they inhibit these CD4 positive T cell. In this way our immune system is suppressed, and now when the immune system is suppressed, obviously the cancer can easily develop. Clear? So this is your activation of the immune regulatory pathways. In this way the cancer cells they suppress the immune system. Now we have after this we have the fourth point, that is the suppression of immune system directly. Now what happens that the tumor cells, they directly produce certain substances that directly inhibits the immune system. Now what are those substances? We all know them, like transforming growth factor beta is also a immunosuppressant. Then we have the vascular endothelial growth factor, it can also act as a immunosuppressant. Then we also have the galactins that can act as a immunosuppressants. So these are the substances that are directly produced by the tumor cells themselves. And now when they produce these substances, obviously they will inhibit the immune system, the CD4 positive T cells, the CD8 positive T cells, T cells and all that. Mainly the means the immune system against the tumor cells, it is the cell mediated immune system. That's why I am always again and again I am saying the T cells and B cells. So because the main mechanism means anti-tumor mechanism is CMI, the cell mediated immunity. So the tumor cells, they directly produce these substances and directly inhibit the cell mediated immunity. Now we have the fifth point. Okay, I am writing it here. After that, the means suppression of the cell mediated immunity directly, we have the T regulatory cells, increased expression. Now first of all, I am telling you normal that what are the T regulatory cells. Basically these T regulatory cells are the normal clones of the T cells. Clear? Normally in our body these cells are present, but normally they are present in a small quantity. And what they actually do, they maintain the homeostasis in our body, and basically they prevent the autoimmunity. Autoimmunity means you can say they prevent the overactivation of the immune system. So basically what they are the negative regulators, because they are preventing the overactivation of immune system, they are preventing the autoimmunity, so they are the negative regulators of our immune response. Now the cancer cells, they are very clever. Why? Because they increase the expression of the T regulatory cells. Normally the T regulatory cells were in a small amount, but now the T regulatory cells become in a large amount. Their number of the T regulatory cells, they are increased. So what happens that the immune system is it is underexpressed, it is suppressed. Means when the T regulatory cells, they are increased, they decrease the immune system. Clear? Normally what they were doing, normally simply they were preventing autoimmunity and overexpression of the immune system by simply inhibiting the immune system. But this inhibition was in a limited quantity. Clear? Because they were in a small amount. But when the cancer cell increase their expression, what happens? They will become in a large quantity. When the large quantity of T regulatory cells are present, they will inhibit more and more. And when the immune system is inhibited more, it means that it will be causing the suppression of immune system, and obviously the development of the cancer can, you can say the tumor cells can easily develop, and in this way the tumor cells can escape the host immune response, our immune response. So these are the 5 points that you have to remember, that are very important to remember regarding this evasion of the host immune response. This is the last hallmark of the cancer. Clear? And then in your basis pathology, there are also certain tumor antigens are also being discussed in that. Means those are certain, simply the oncogenic proteins are also act as a immune means suppressors. Then there are certain aberrantly expressed or abnormally expressed proteins are also present, or genes are also present. That is, for example, cancer testis antigen. This antigen is basically normally expressed in our germ cells, and it is not expressed in any part of our body. But if it is increased or it is expressed in any other part of the body except the germ cells, then it will be called as abnormal or aberrantly expressed. Then we have certain viruses that are also oncogenic viruses that can suppress the immune system. That is the human papilloma virus. One of them is the human papilloma virus. Now after that we have the you can say the other oncofetal proteins, means those proteins that are normally expressed in the developing fetal tissues, but they are also expressed in the if they are expressed in the adults, they will be causing the cancer. Means they are the markers of the cancer in the adults. Like for example, alpha fetoprotein. This is normal protein that is means expressed in the fetal development, but this protein is also expressed in the adults in the cancers, in the testicular cancers, in the ovarian cancers. Then we also have the carcinogenic embryogenic antigen. Carcinoembryogenic antigen, that is also expressed in the embryological life, but it is, if it is expressed in the adults, then it will be obviously in the ovarian cancers. Means it is expressed in the ovarian cancers. Means simple, the point is that these proteins are the fetal proteins, basically expressed in the fetus. So, and if they are expressed in the adult life, that they will be causing the cancer. So I told you that they are expressed in the testicular and the ovarian cancers. So these are the certain tumor antigens that can also suppress the immune system, but the important are these 5 points that you have to remember. Selective outgrowth of antigen negative variants, means I told you about immunoediting, that what happens in this. Then we have the MHC, loss of expression of MHC complex, that is the HLA, means the HLA is not expressed, the CD4 positive T cell will not recognize them and they will not be destroyed. In this way the cancer cells can escape the immune system. Then we have the immune regulatory pathway activation, means the inhibitory pathway, they are activated and the activating pathways, they are inhibited simply. Then we have the suppression directly by producing these substances. Then we have the T regulatory cells expression is increased by the tumor cells. So with this we have completed our all the hallmarks, 8 hallmarks of the cancer, which was very important topic of your tumors, and this is very basic topic. Means in the further studies that will be very much concerned and very much important topic of your tumor. So if you have any confusion, any query, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.